Hey guys, and welcome to my latest video on Let's Push Forward. Today I'd like to talk about my coping mechanisms. So this is a toolbox, I guess, of things that I have adapted to me that I can use to combat the way I'm feeling, to change my mindset and help me, I guess, live a more productive life. So one thing I do so much more now is I watch my thoughts, so I'm not so reactive to them. I think most days, a few maybe a few hundred times a day, I get that that feeling in my heart that I could potentially go into an anxious state. I could start to get quite shaky, quite scared. So now what I do is I just sit with my thoughts. I watch them. I don't kind of subscribe to them. I don't allow them to manage me anymore. I do have internal conversations in my head, but that now, rather than my thoughts controlling me, I'm starting to control them. So one thing I find really useful is to start to laugh at myself. That's one thing I love with things I go through, is to laugh and sit there and go, "Oh, here he goes again, come on, he's going to rip himself down," and compare it to how I would treat a friend. So would I really look at one of my friends and be like, "You're disgusting, you don't deserve to feel happy, you don't deserve to buy that for yourself, you don't deserve to eat"? No, I absolutely would not. So one of my tools now is that I just I'm so careful of how I talk to myself. I think one of my biggest tips now is to approach things that I'm telling myself I should do. So you should wake up positive, you should do this, you should work harder, you should go to the gym, you should eat healthily. When I'm doing that, I'm putting such pressure on my shoulders. I'm taking out the fun, I'm taking out the living side of things, and I'm dictating to myself what I should be doing. And if I don't do that, there's no other option apart from failing. So one thing I'm instantly changing now is to reword it, that I could do that. I could wake up positive. I could, be more grateful for everything I have. And you're giving yourself an option then, and you're opening yourself up to creativity, and you're making choices rather than drilling down to yourself and being hard on yourself, and restricting your growth. So that's definitely two words that I've really changed my relationship with. One of the latest additions to my life is my tarot cards. So I absolutely adore reading my tarot cards now. I find it so insightful. It gives me hope when I need hope. And I can even do it for my friends, and it's really nice to have that bond with them, and it builds my confidence because you've actually got people listening to you, taking an interest in your talent, and you can see you getting it right. But I always trust my intuition with these. And yeah, it's so nice to have those, and they're always right. They're always right. So mantra beads, I call them my affirmation beads. So there's 108 beads on here. I think it is a religious thing, maybe Hindu religion, about 108 gods. So I use it to affirmations. So I go through each bead and I repeat the same affirmation 108 times. I think it's like after about 5 times you start to believe it. So I reckon 108, I'm pretty well on the way to believe in my positive affirmations. I think that's such an important thing to do. Try and start your day is to talk yourself up, tell you how amazing you are. We don't all have people around us to tell that all the time. And actually, are you, the majority of us, able to accept that? So many people are awkward and difficult with compliments. So yeah, that's my affirmation beads. I probably order a new book at least once a week, if not, a couple of times a week. And I've kept a few of them actually, but usually I like to pass them on to somebody else. And I love, when I buy them, I like to buy them used from Amazon, like used books, because, they've got character, they've got love. Someone's loved this book and there's some positive energy in there, I guess. So Untethered Soul, absolutely amazing book. So this is a journey to inside yourself. So it's actually kind of just letting go of your attachments to things. I did quite a lot of studying, researching into Buddhism not long ago, and I really, one of the biggest reasons I went vegetarian is, I just don't want to harm any other anything in the world, like even down to like an insect. We all have the same right to be here. Just because we fulfill a bigger body doesn't mean that we have the right to live over anything else. So but anyway, back to that book, sorry, is it's about detaching, letting go of this connection we have with our body, with material, and having that soul, being free in your soul. Another book, absolutely love this woman. So Lisa Nichols, she doesn't look like that anymore. It's strange. Since she was on the Oprah show, she looks different, but she's amazing. You should really look at one of her first ever interviews. It's talking about her life she went through, and she got to this breaking point where she was like, never ever again, and she got such a good attitude, and such a so sassy. She's kind of like, if someone tries to, what is it, if you're shining too bright for somebody, then throw in some sunglasses. Don't let anybody dull your shine. So yes, I love her. My latest book, which I am absolutely adoring, is The Chimp Paradox. So just resonates with so much. Going back to what I was saying earlier about watching my thoughts, is how our initial reaction is to act with this chimp personality. Is a chimp's priorities in life is to survive, is to fight, is to reproduce, is to eat. And we've got this human aspect of our brain which is weaker than the chimp, that then kind of has to pick up the pieces. But really have a read of that. I really recommend it. And a lot of people that I know, that was probably the book they're saying lifted them out of depression. So very powerful. I have another book, so Man's Search for Meaning. This was actually recommended to me. I haven't quite finished that yet because I'm going to save that for a holiday. It's really, it's quite deep. It's about a journey of a man in a concentration camp, and how he can still see people's psychology, and they can still kind of laugh and live and have some, under the most horrendous of conditions, they still are enjoying themselves and enjoying the smaller things in life, and it's the conditioning they've got. So I'm looking forward to finishing that. But again, I kind of want to be on holiday, shall we say. And then my big favourite book is Eastern Body, Western Mind. This is a big one. But that was one of the biggest turning points in my life. My friend recommended it. She's an energy healer, which I'll speak about at a later video and hopefully get her to contribute. But it drills back into when your chakras are formed. What amazes me is, have you ever seen a heart? Have you ever seen a brain? With your own? No, but we know they're there because we feel, you feel your heartbeat, and you can feel that heartbeat, you can feel your mind working. Now I can feel energy pulsating through my body. I get the most beautiful, amazing moments where it's surreal, I just, for no reason, I'll just have the biggest rush of happy tears because, my energy's flowing, and like with your, it goes on about when your chakras are formed and what kind of traumas and what the characteristics are of a deficient chakra and stuff. So it can I guess the goal of the book is to enlighten you and align all your chakras, which is beautiful. So I love that. One of the biggest shifts in my life happened when I started to meditate. I guess I still do, but I found other ways to meditate that isn't actually sitting down and breathing in, breathing out. I've learned to kind of, do that, capture that in my body and, find the areas of my body that need the attention and deal with that, and work on the shift. But I remember when I was in group therapy, and a couple of the guys were like, Aaron, you just need to start meditating, And I was like, well, how do you meditate? I was so frustrated because people kept telling me about meditating, and I was like, well, what is it? And I thought, do I have to sit there with my legs crossed, humming, fingers, like this. And yeah, I got really frustrated. I was like, well, it's not that easy. But actually, you know what? It's a lot easier than you think. We all have, to me, my opinion is we all meditate to a certain degree, but it's elongating that and making it useful, and finding the way of connecting with your body. But two of my favourite people. So this is Madeline Reinhardt. I don't think you can actually see her because, yeah. But anyway, Madeline Reinhardt. So she's the meditation queen. She's amazing. Her video Letting Go has actually really helped me getting through a breakup. It's about calling you to connect with your higher self with another person. And it's really emotional, you're sitting there speaking to this person, like telling them what they did that hurt you, and then you've got to let it go, and you watch them walk away. And yeah, it was raw, it was really, really raw dealing with a breakup, and then it's like rubbing salt in the wounds. But yeah, it's confronting it and facing it head on. And it was probably the most beautiful, saddest, tough, but it really, really, really helped, and it really allowed me to get over that, the initial comparings, what if you see them, the obsessing about that kind of thing. So yeah, no, it was really, really useful. One of my other recommendations is Jason Stevenson. Now he's quite big, nearly 1 million subscribers, so just pop his name into YouTube. So one of his first meditations I ever did was Letting Go. I think they're both called Letting Go, but this is a different Letting Go. So this is walking. It's a guided meditation. So he walks you through into a library. You release all your baggage, and you teleport to this kind of woodland with and walk into a river, and you feel the cleansing waters of the river, and then you stand under the waterfall with your issues in your hand, and it washes them away. It's just amazing. I used to be able to, I haven't done it for a while actually, but I used to be able to come out of my own body and watch myself. I guess this one's a bit more of a cringe one. So, like these love songs you've heard all your life, and, Greatest Love, and for me, some of my favourite songs are like The World's Greatest by R. Kelly, M People, Des'ree, like really, these songs from the 90s, I guess, that really resonate with me now, and I can find that strength inside myself, and it makes me really want to fight another day, and it's really exciting, uplifting. I have very, very strange taste in music, but they all fulfill a role. I think also, when you're going through tough times, is listening, allow yourself some time to grieve. If you don't sit there with that pain, allow yourself to cry. What happens when you wound yourself, you bleed, that's the wound expressing the pain, I guess, and that's the same with us when we hurt ourselves. Be kind to yourself, allow yourself that time to grieve, but also cut it. Don't obsess about it, don't come into that negative cycle. I guess that's when we fall into a depression, and I'm not saying it's a choice, or it's a conscious choice you're making, because obviously no one wants to feel that bad. But yeah, I think music plays a huge part in my life. So, but also with music, music, movies, activities or whatever, is that they're there. Use them to recall your memories as well. So listen to a love song and think, God, I remember when I felt that much in love, or I remember when I missed somebody that much, and look at the future optimistically, and imagine you're going to get that. Well, know you're going to get it. One day you're gonna surround yourself with all that love. Well, you're gonna allow someone in your life that's gonna give you all that love, and never lose hope. That's my advice anyway. I've had my fair share of relationships. Yeah, I've been hurt, but also I'm never going to stop loving, because I don't think, for some bad choices I've made, some relationships I've allowed to go on longer than they should, because I didn't my self-worth, and attachments, and my mindset at the time. I don't want to spite myself from having that future with somebody who genuinely deserves me, and I deserve them, and that, I'm happily ever after. So, and there's someone out there for all of us. Just gotta kiss a few frogs, I guess. And that's one thing I love doing as well, is getting out there dating. I prefer to call it networking. So I think, not everybody, if you go with the intention of everyone you're going to meet you've got to marry, then you know you're going to be disappointed. So go into these things with an open mind. You know, do it safely. You know, some meeting safe public places and stuff. But I've met some of my best friends through dating. You know, because you know there's a connection, but it's not that connection of, oh, I want to sleep with you tonight. But yeah, so get yourself out there. You know, experience the world, experience other people. We're all looking for something in life. So yeah, get out there and enjoy it together. So thank you very much for listening to me. So that's a little bit on my, I guess my tools and my coping mechanisms. So thank you for listening, and as usual, like, subscribe, share, comment, feedback. I'd really love to hear from you. Thank you.